Chumruksu, blessed day everyone. Ati Bing here all the way from Cambodia. This is a short video. I hope that you will be encouraged for the glory of God. I read the book of Mark, kag sa chapter 10 there are 52 verses. There are 6 situations actually in this chapter. But we will see the situation where, Jesus was consistent even from the beginning. Jesus inviting people to come and follow him. And even at the beginning, when he asked his disciples, Jesus was calling them, come, follow me. So for you, young leaders at Calvary Baptist Church, Jesus is inviting you to come and follow him. Follow him. This young rich man, come to Jesus also. He asked Jesus, oh good teacher, what must I do to inherit the kingdom of God? And then Jesus answered to him in chapter 10, verses 17 to 31, where the story of the rich young man, Jesus told him that, you have to do the commandments. And then this young man said, yes, I have kept them since when I was a boy. And then that Jesus answered in verse 21. Jesus looked at him and loved him. One thing you lack. Go, sell everything that you have and give them to the poor. Then come, follow me. We know that the young man was sad because he was so rich. And he was not only rich. In other passages, in Luke chapter 18, verse 18, it says that he was a ruler. And in Matthew chapter 19, verse 20, he was a young man. So probably at your age. So just imagine, Jesus asked him, come, follow me. But he missed up because he focused on what he can give. When Jesus asked him to go and sell everything that he has and give it to the poor, he focused on that. He forgot what matters. These are in grammar, we call it modifiers. Actually, the first line of the verse, Jesus said, one thing you lack. And then the other are just modifiers in the middle. One thing you lack, come follow me. But then he missed that because he focused on things that what he can give instead of focusing on God, what God can give to him. We know that the rich young man sad and turned around. In verse 23 of chapter 10 of Mark, Jesus looked around. So it was in everyone, maybe at church. Jesus was looking at the church, And now, in verse 27, Jesus looked at them, to his disciples now. Jesus are looking at you, the leaders of Calvary Baptist Church. Now, Jesus, said to them, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. So, for us, human as we are, God is inviting us to come to him. It's hard for us to follow human, without following God first. So you have to obey God. You have to come to him. God says, come, and I will give you rest. Come, follow me. Jesus repeatedly saying this to people, to his disciple, come follow him. Why? Why we have to follow Jesus? Because Jesus is worthy of all. So Peter spoke up in verse 28. We left everything to follow you. And in verse 29, mentioned about losing loved ones, leaving loved ones for the sake of the kingdom of God. And verse 30, Jesus said, even if you leave everything, you will receive 100 times in return. So the rich young man missed what matters. And for us here, young people, I hope that you will see the importance of this. Your choice will determine the condition of your heart. So when you obey God, your obedience to God will determine your discipleship and leadership. So obey God. Come to him. That means you have to have an intimate relationship with God in his word. It's not about loving others less, but it is about, loving Jesus most. Don't meaning Sorry, it was a kamay.